Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Oh. Good morning, Nevermorians! That's right, it's your host with the most, Nick Tockert, coming at you over the airways, every way. It's been one of those days. My toe has found the step ladder with extreme prejudice, and we are going to build up from there. Yes, folks, the work continues, and when it does, things keep getting extra spicy. But before I get into your amazing comments, because, folks, everyone knows that the shows I'm on have the best chat in the world, I got to pay some bills and see if I can keep my lights on. So, first let's talk about technical problems going there. What you're getting from me right now is technical problems. That's fine. Boom, it's Friday. There we are. That should, have to take a couple devices suddenly off the interwebs to keep things rolling. But how do I keep the lights on and the stream feeding? By selling the simple sword, the fighting axe, the simple spear, which is on order, the big stompy Robots Core rulebook, and the novellas set in this wonderful setting of Praxis 5, where giant walking machines of destruction lay waste to each other in an endless series of corporate skirmishes and wars. And all sorts of interesting little people get caught in the middle. The games are about the battles. The books are about the people. And speaking about people, if you go to LukeStoneStudios.com, you can also find Hybrids of Sons of God, the role-playing game. This is the quick play edition in sweet, floppy goodness. And you can find the full version is coming very soon. Luke has informed me that he is working on it as soon as he gets done with some other stuff. Yes, today is one of those days where my hair would not be contained, so we had to latch it down with the old NetGator. Let's see who's in the links today. I'll say that we are coming up fast on the Frog G launch, which is a major deal in our universe. Let's see who is in the comments, and then we'll talk about what we have to talk about today. Real quick, let's see. We've got to go. Okay, I'm not too far behind for once. Grim. And I am sorry, my net keeps cutting basically out. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, it's Friday and a whole lot of people must be active. Let's see what we can do around that whole dreaded net problem. First through the door is Donna, Carleen, Donna. Good morning. It's nice to hear you came first, as every woman should. What? I beat Joe Bachman? Whoa. Yes, whoa, Donna. And right after her is our own Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBron, the crafter of life on Quora. Morning, lovelies. Hello, Mike Jimmy. How are you doing? And he mentions that you even beat me, Donna. And Carl is lumbering into the room. You do okay, Carl? You seem a little like you've taken a couple hits today. Good morning, everyone. Whoa, God, I've got the hiccups today. This might be a fun video. I'm glad I ran my errands this morning. A pretty rough thunderstorm just started. Makes a pretty sky, though. Now, I do love a good thunderstorm. One of those joys is sitting on my porch and watching them roll in all flash and majesty. But yeah, I'm glad you made it through. Oh, Mike J. Donna's greeting Mike Jimmy. And Mike Jimmy saying, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And you know what? I think we are. It is Happy Friday. The weekend is upon us. I have a ton of work to do, including prepping for the removal of a vehicle from my property. Things have been swanky, just swanky. But we're going to make it better once we get through what we need to get through to make it happen. Because that's what we believe here, folks. And I've got some subjects I want to talk about, but let's get through because you guys might have something else. Oh, Donna, I outed my much older brother on Facebook earlier. He's going to be 75 tomorrow. Well, congratulations to him. That's a great place to be. And so that's wonderful. And so I'm good this morning, and you're good this morning. Sorry, I'm out and in and out of chat as I pack for the convention. Yes, Silicon was this weekend, or is this weekend coming up. And naturally, my beloved wife has to work, and we're still dealing with the ramifications of the car problems. In that, I had to reach out and do some car fandangling swapping with my family. Got a very good deal, don't get me wrong. But that means I'm going to be entangled this weekend. So we'll have to make sure. But those who go to Silicon, have a wonderful time. I really thought this was the year I was going to make it. No worries, Carl. I'll be packing as soon as well. Oh my. Carl, are you friends with Connie? Don't forget to. Okay, I don't know who Connie is, but happy birthday to Connie. And hail and good morning, Nevermorians. Hail and good morning, Frog. And since Frog G's the first person through the door who has an ad that needs, I see what's going on. Okay, sorry, we're still fighting the technical difficulties, but I always fight them. I battle for you. Let's see if I can't find Frog G. Yeah, Frog G. Voodoo Gods of Magic.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this to all, you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear. You got some money on the line, you better put it here. Rolling in and doing that work.
God, that's a banger ad, Frog. Yeah, Frog G's Voodoo Gods and Magic is launching September 17th. And if he does not fund incredibly rapidly, we as a community have failed him because he has done so much to promote so many that he just deserves to succeed on that alone. And that's not saying the quality of the work, because it is an amazing title if that is your jam, and you're going to be hearing a lot about it. And as we get more, we're going to plug more, because that's how I roll. And everybody's greeting Frog, and hey friends, hey Michaela, how you doing? You getting in trouble? I hope so. And I do hope you all are actively getting into some form of mischief today, because what's the point of life if you're not getting into mischief? And this is a Hawaiian shirt. It's just a strange one. It is one that my wife and I fight over. But like all great Hawaiian shirts, they are a battleground. Let's see what else we have in the comments. And Frog G is hailing everyone. And Frog G is starting his string of plugs with www.nicholastockert.com, which is my site. Man, time is passing fast. And the Amazon for my stuff, where you can find www.amazon.com, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert II, and all that happy gobbledygook, where you can find my books and much more. I am working on new titles. I've got a sci-fi cyberpunk kind of mystery working. I have some urban fantasy. I have some good stuff all coming together right now. It's just because I now have access to the projects I want to get done by the end of the year. I'm just driving my way through those. I have 3 months, 2 months and about 2 weeks to try to hit my goal of as many publications as possible. My original goal was 12 publications in 2022, and boy, has 2022 gone fast. So we're going to see what we can do. Hi, Michaela. More greetings from Michaela, and Frog G sharing Michaela's YouTube, youtube.com/Michaela Jade, and Michaela Books, amazon.com/Michaela Jade. And you want more Michaela Jade? Go to author MichaelaJade.com. Good luck at the Pekin Marigold Festival. And Mike Jimmy Lorsha DeBron's YouTube channel, Killer Boy 6661. Glad you added the one. And yet, Frog, you are a linking hero. He leaps to the links and keeps us all connected. We absolutely love you, Frog. Hey, Nick. Uh-oh. 8. Okay. More. No, see, we're going to do that better. We're going to rerun, because I can do that. Live re-edit. 8 more days. Launching September 17th. Sign up now for Frog G Voodoo Gods and Magic on Indiegogo. Ooh, I got a little bit of my boy Luke Agliata in there. I need to reach out to him. I miss my Red Valkyrie crew, which you will be able to see Frog G plugging the Red Valkyrie, plugging his stuff for the launch on Red Valkyrie Presents. So that's going to be awesome. And I believe that's noon on Saturday the 17th. Games, you say? Check out Cindy's game Stellari, a quick game from the stars. And Hybrids Trash Day, Volume 1 Remaster. Well, yes, and you know what, Frog? I've got that right here. Give me just a second. If Frog's going to set, I might as well spike it.
Welcome to Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. The epic remaster of the original Trash Day arc is now being collected in a standard trade paperback. With more story, more art, and behind-the-scenes information, this book is the way creator Luke Stone intended the story to be told. This special Arrow Comics Remastered edition is full of energy and excitement. Critically acclaimed and one of independent comics' favourite teen books, you are sure to find yourself lost in this expansive universe. So, secure your copy today in this crowd-funded group buy. Once the funds are collected, the books will be sent off to print and delivered post-haste. Luke and the Arrow Comics team have a perfect record of fulfillment. You can pledge with confidence.
Yeah, that's... Wow. You want to talk to somebody who woke up from his nap and just started swinging. Luke Stone has been just hitting everybody's projects and knocking stuff out and continuing to take on more. He's doing stuff with the Out of Obscurity, which is going to be an amazing anthology. Hybrids is still rolling. Honestly, that man needs to stop juggling and take a breath and start laying the completion out, because he needs it. He's got a lot up in the air for a man who lost his main career and jumped full bird into comic production. But I can't wait to see what he does with the formatting of Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, the role-playing game. Literally, it's been 2 years. I can't wait. Oh, so while that's going on, let's see what else is coming down the pipe. And it's all right. You were gone for about 2 seconds and then cut back in. My internet is being spacey as ever. Across the tracks, amazing internet. They've got like cable and optic stuff, and I'm still dealing with the cell tower that's on top of a silo because they won't go dig under the railroad tracks. Yay. So let's keep going. And good afternoon. Good afternoon, Bonsard of Radio Retro Future. I hope you're doing well. And Radio Retro Future's link. Now, I've done a few commercials in rapid succession, so I want to hold off. It's not that I'm not running your stuff, but I want to get some comments in and then get going. And while I hit these comments, folks, please hit that like, share, and subscribe, because we have a lot to discuss yet. And actually, let's go through oh, yes, we do. We have some good comments, and then I want to talk about some stuff I've been alluding to. Hey, Bonsert. Hey, Radio. Connie is my firstborn niece and David's firstborn. She's also my fave niece. Aw. Well, then happy birthday, Connie. I have no idea how old she is, but hey, everybody loves a happy birthday wish. So, yes, I've been waiting to announce this. As a little scoop for y'all, next year I might try to hit Halocon. Really want to try and meet a lot of you in real life for once. I'll match that with a scoop. I'm trying to hit Halocon next year. In part because there is a supreme hope that a certain project that Mike Jimmy's working on will be done for Halocon. And simply because I really need to get some FaceTime with some of you delightful people. And, God, I need more conventions in my life. So next year's Halocon is going to likely be amazing. Ooh, and more comment dumps. Yes, while I'm dealing with the comment dumps, we're having comment dumps. That is wonderful. It's a desert camel Hawaiian shirt. I approve. I wish it were. No, this one, let me look at it. From here, it looks like desert camo. From here, it's actually a sunset scene that kind of wraps around and still fakes out being desert camo. In fact, this shirt would be great for all your tactical needs, to wear over your plate carrier and look supremely BA as the operator that you are. Wow, it has been a long time since I had Beardsmic Operator's Super Tactical Extreme crash my channel. I really... Sorry. Had a guy who used to kind of pop up on my channel and at practices who made things a little more interesting because he was a little more modern than most of my historical stuff. And now I'm wondering if he needs to show up again. Oh, that could be problematic. That would be awesome, Mike. Yeah, we all want to see Mike. And 50% of 12 publications is better than 100% of none. And I have to look at my list of if I count the ones I've gone through other people, because I've completed my end of Writer's Rule, which I have to reach out to Telepathic Bunny and Buddy Lord to see how that's going, just out of curiosity. Long time ago, I completed my end of AWF. Hybrids is supposed to launch. The role playing game is supposed to launch in time to ship for Christmas, so it should be coming real soon. We've got the Simple Spear. That's 4. That's not bad. I have to look at my list because I might be forgetting a couple. It's been an odd year. I did some stuff early in the year, and I have several new projects that I want to complete up ahead, and they're at various levels. So there's that. I also want to plan to run my video, my short-term series, my limited series, creating a guide for how to make your own RPG campaigns. And I was thinking that might be best done as a live show while I basically lay out the sort of lecture behind how I do it. And then I can take my notes, compile them, and make that into a program. That might become a Wednesday thing. I'm not sure. How do you guys feel about that? It would be a format change. But, let me know. If not, I have to figure out a time to schedule that. And of course, hail Johnny. It's great to see Johnny freaking Cage. Follow him at JP7 on Twitter. It's the easiest way. Amazing art. And Frog G's, everybody's doing greetings. And Red Valkyrie's YouTube channel, youtube.com/Red Valkyrie. She is a wonderful promoter with her co-host and cohort Sai. And they do a lot of promotions. They also are still doing Dice Dames and Dudes. Season 2, I think, might be wrapping up real soon. It's an amazing game series if that's your thing. I was honored to be the DM for season 1 before they decided to change format and jump around. And I don't know if you can hear the freight train rumbling through, but my medical stuff did not let me keep up my late night lifestyle that I was. And that is something we're going to discuss in just a moment, actually, once I get through some of these comments, because I have a couple things that need to be discussed. All right. And Frog G is saying, tickle the algorithm, smash the like, dingle the bells, and subscribe. So wherever you're watching this, please hit that like. And especially if you are watching it through Facebook, come back to YouTube just long enough to drop your like. And you can keep watching it on Facebook if that makes it easier for you to comment or more comfortable. But I am actively fighting the algorithms, and it has gotten ridiculous. So let's take a moment. Oh wait, we've got good comments. So let me look. Yes. So then I'm gonna go through the next set of comments, and then I'm gonna hit a couple of things I wanted to discuss. Started on the next comic yesterday. Johan already laid out 7 pages. What a Chad. Oh my. And hello everyone. And we're all happy to see you. That's an even better camo. Just got to have the right thing showing in the right environment. Oh, absolutely. My problem is I'm a short, fat, furry little man who walks with a cane and tends to stand out. So that means the gray man approach to survival does not work with me. Therefore, I either semi-blend in or I go full poison dart frog and look and stand out and understand that I do. Hence the glow-in-the-dark knife. I have to use a knife because the way my fingers work, and I'm coming into a bad day, well, because I was typing quite a bit on one of my projects right before the stream. Yes, I do a lot of hunt and peck. Because of the way my fingers work, I am not supposed to tear open bags, foil packets, things like that. So I have to have a knife around me constantly. But like that, because the way my fingers work, getting a folding knife out of my pocket when I'm having a bad day doesn't work, let alone the idea. If you think of many folding knives. Now, okay, I'll show you this one. This one has a nice stud, so I can make it go. The lock mechanism is broken. This is why I don't carry this one anymore. And it was an assist open, which apparently was at the time very illegal in some of the states I tended to frequent. But on a knife with a little thumbnail churl thing where you pinch it and go, that's not going to work real well. So I either have to have assist open, like something like this little dude, nice little assist open that I found hilarious. I bought this for the lulz. But that still means fishing it out of my pocket, or this, where I just squeeze it and it pops out. Now you'll notice none of the knives I'm showing you are very large knives. That's because these are tool knives. These are knives used for fine, delicate work. These are not meant really for aggressive means. I mean, obviously they can, but that's not their intention. It's not like I'm pulling out a K-bar, because that would be excessive and intimidating. But I wear it out in the open. Everybody can see it, and it carries my look. I'm diabetic. If I crash, I might need sugar, kind of thing. So that's my approach, because if I can't blend in, I might as well stand out. And this is interesting because it gets into knives and something I saw. I shared a commercial around on my other channel. I'll be talking about later tonight. But where Not a Spoon, the guy sells out the front knives. But because of Google and Facebook, they do not like to advertise knives. That's kind of lame, in my opinion, because, and I do not remember the study, but years and years and years ago, I read that somebody with a pocket knife is twice as likely to survive a emergency survival situation than somebody who doesn't have one. Now, part of it is, of course, the mentality of the kind of person who carries a pocket knife. They usually have a certain set of skills. And part of it is it's a lot easier to survive when you have a cutting edge to craft things. Again, tool. And the fact that the algorithms are so against something like that really leans into why I have to ask constantly people to promote and share what I do, and shows like this, because it literally is out to prevent us from being represented, our ideas being shared. So that's why, guys, liking and sharing and commenting is so important on my end, from a mechanical getting the message out there for whatever I'm doing. That was just an example, because that methodology can be applied to anything whoever runs the algorithm doesn't like. This is interesting. So, as creators, we have to be fearless and not be afraid to reach out to ask these questions. Now, the other question I have to ask thing is, are you guys setting boundaries and taking care of yourselves? All right, because there are a bunch of comments, and I'm really looking forward to deep diving them. But our own Brian K. Morris had to stop broadcasting in part because he has certain problems, including insomnia. I have fought insomnia most of my life, in part due to nightmares from experiences, in part just because, as someone who has ADD / possibly ADHD, my natural circadian rhythm is different from the neurotypical. I literally am happier waking up at 10 o'clock in the morning and going to sleep at 2, which, if I were alone as a single man, I could easily adjust my lifestyle and work night shifts or 3 to 11s and be a very happy camper. But I am not. I have a wife, I have a beautiful son, and they have to live in more traditional scheduling. Therefore, I have to sleep. And when I realize my medical needs and making the concessions I make, I can't broadcast on the evenings, late. It's simply something that medically is literally dangerous for me to do so. And I've had to draw a boundary there. I've recently put out that I am not currently taking contracts because I want to spend the rest of 2022 actually working on my stuff so that when I go to cons, I've got new materials. I have to change my formats for a lot of things. And you have to draw the line once in a while. As creatives, we must always temper ourselves because we push. And those of us who are motivated, we push hard. We go every day. Even if it's only for a few minutes, that's how you get there. Even if you're only putting a sentence or two down every day, that will get you across the finish line. The problem is can be a grind. And they call it a grind because it wears you away. And if you do not schedule and maintain rest in anything, guys, your body will make you rest. And that's what's really important. You have to, because for me to function creatively, I have to function mentally, I have to function biologically. Socially is in there too. But right now we're getting really, deep into the hierarchy of needs here. Our boy Maslow talked about, and you got to have food, shelter, sleep, and frankly, a pleasant company if that is your jam, unless you're ace. These are biological imperatives. We need to triage our lives sometimes because we have been brought up in a world where workers are treated as parts to a greater machine that they use till they are worn out and then simply replace. And unfortunately, they're treated like disposable parts. Not even a commodity. Just use it up and then throw it away. To function as humans, because we are not machines, we are going to have to continue to do one of the most important things, which is step back and say, no, this is the line. And when you're a creative and you're giving creative, I tend to do stuff for free. And I ask, civility, and I, spread more good. If it comes my way, awesome, but keep spreading good. And I will take jobs on myself because I like the project or whatever, or I'm helping somebody. There will always be people who are predatory and parasitical. And we have to see that when we do collaborations, and I believe collaborations are dreadfully important, because if you only work alone all the time, you end up in an echo chamber of your own ideas and you can't see your flaws. And over time, I think the flaws build up and it starts to cause problems. A wonderful example is I love Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. And I love a lot of their movies. But sometimes they need somebody to rein them in and go, you're going too far, this isn't working, or wow, you just lost hold of the thread. And recognizing that has to have an outside view. And I don't think they get that because they've worked too well together in projects. So, and this is an example, and that's my opinion example. Wow, no, my computer tried to bump the mouse and end the broadcast. Apparently, that was a spicy take. But as authors, as creatives, you need to set your boundaries. You need to build your castle walls and allow gates. Because what will happen is as soon as you say, I need to take a break for X amount of time to rest, like last week was my wife's vacation. I still did a full broadcast schedule, in part because we didn't go anywhere, and in part because I have an obligation to the viewers and an obligation to Brian K. Morris to do my absolute best with his legacy. But I also, if I need to take the time, I will, because I will need it if it's a necessity, and we need to recognize it. Just like I don't do free stuff. I tell people I don't do free stuff, and Mike Jimmy gave me a wonderful invitation to voice a character, because, as he put it, my voice was the voice in his head. And given my quirks and the character's quirks, it lines up delightfully well. But I went, sure. And I did no hesitation. And it's like, but you said you did that, and I did it for free. Why? Why did you do it for free? Well, one, it isn't a profit-based thing. Two, it's on my creative bucket list. Voicing an animated character is literally on the list I have of things I've always wanted to do. And I may do more of that because it was a delightful experience. But I chose that. Now, I have people who will hop in my DMs and they'll either, we want you to create a bunch of art for our NFT, blah, blah, blah. That's a scam. You ask around, you know these are scams. Or, hey, Nick, make a game for me. Well, I can advise you how to make a game. Make a game for me right now. No. Now, I will help. And I've informed people, if I don't have a contract with you and I say, sure, I'll help you, I'll give you advice, I will give you advice and help, because that's who I am on the free advice schedule. But right now, I'm at the grind zone. And this is nobody in the chat. This is nobody that we're hearing regularly. But this is a point where you have to start doing that. You have to vet guests. You have to vet people in your life. And if they turn out not to be what you want or represent things you're uncomfortable with, you just walk away, because there's no malice and no sin in accidentally associating with somebody who's problematic in a truly actual way. But if something comes to light and you're uncomfortable and you stay, then that starts being on you a bit. Now, if there's a contract involved, you do the job and then you get out. Because I do kind of follow the troubleshooter's creed. I don't take on a job I don't finish. And I have learned a lot about what kind of jobs I take and what kind of contracts I want. I like very fair contracts, and I am going to add in the future length of time. I will do this. I will do this much, and I will then, in some cases, it's like hard stop. I'm done. Hands off. You've paid me. I'm walking away. Others, yeah, I want to be deeply involved in. But you have to make these boundaries. Boundaries are important. And I hope when I hit the chat, because I have a bunch of comment dumps, that you guys are maintaining healthy boundaries and healthy expectations on yourself to do things. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit of grind because it means a lot to me to get out as much as possible right now. And I'm coming off of some health issues. But that's my choice. This is part of why I'm not working at a place that's like, you have to come in, this many hours and we'll mandate you work extra and this, that, and the other. No. That is not my jam. And if that's if that bothers people, that's okay. It's part of the lifestyle I currently have the choice to make. Let's see what you guys have to say. I've been prattling for far too long. So let's get back to the comments. Let's see. That's even better. That's even an even better camo. Just got to have the right thing showing in the right environment. Absolutely. Never do anything for just one reason. Going to be seeing you at FezCon. Yeah, it is not a fancy Fez, but it's my Fez. Yes. Wee. FezCon, also known as LibraryCon for those who don't know, will be held at the Benton County Public Library on, I want to say it's 103 Madison. No, not Madison. Shoot. I could drive there, but I can't. Anyway, Benton County Public Library in Fowler, Indiana. It's right off the main drag. It's right on the main drag next to the police department. October 8th from 10 till 2 officially. Now, weather permitting, outdoor sites are available, and we might be able to extend that longer depending on the director volunteering her time. So, folks, all be real nice to my wife. I am totally using an inn. Yes, so I cannot wait for that. I will be selling books. I have currently 10 copies of The Simple Spear coming in. I don't know. I'm trying to do my recount on my inventory this weekend to try to get everything in on time for anything I need to replace. And there will be gamer goodness. We'll be there. Brian K. Morris is slated to be there. Donna Carleen and Carl Witzman will be there. Shadows in the Attic should be there, and she's bringing a friend. So slots are filling up fast, but there's still some room for tables. There's about 6 or 8 table spaces inside in the main area of the basement. I don't know if we're going to use the side area or not, and then numerous outside booth spaces. So it should be a great event. And I hope to see as many of you who can be local there as possible. Shay also does cosplay, so I'm curious to see what cosplay will be for the launch of my book. Well, I am too, because Shay's awesome. Shay is definitely awesome people, and I miss them dearly. It's just that they're blissful night walkers, and I am consigned to the horrible, evil orb in the sky, the day walking, which is not my natural environment. But I hope that it really goes well, and they are great at promotion, and the chat over there is amazing. I will endeavor to be there for that. Oh, that actually works surprisingly well. I want to see that project. Let's see what else we got going on here. And Frog's amazing. I'll just watch from both platforms. And he's plugging the Historical Fencing Guild, which I will be on at 8 o'clock tonight. And we'll talk swords and shenanigans. I actually have a file of things to discuss, so we'll go in there. Brian K. Morris, Rising Tide, our man, hashtag Bring Cookie Home, publications on YouTube. Because the Rising Tide Lifts All Boats is his Wix site. Boundaries are incredibly important. Allowing yourself to say no to things makes you a lot more free in those things you say yes to. Exactly. And the fact that I said no to several people meant when you said, here, do this, would you like to do this? I was jumping at the bit. It was delightful, and it gave me a chance not only to do something with Mike Jimmy, who's an incredible person, but to work with Daphne Leish and Nita Lanning, who are 2 of my favorite people on earth. Even if I still get a little, I have to suppress the fanboy a bit around Daphne, because she was one of those people who had an influence on my art in the early days. Generally, when people come to me with work to do, my first question to myself is, who wins at the end of this? That's a good question, because my goal is everybody. Whenever I have a project, my goal is for everybody to win. If I'm collaborating with people, I want everybody to feel like they got either equal or a better deal. See, Mike Jimmy says, is it both of us, just them, or myself? What risk do I have, and what risk is theirs, and is their project worth my time? And that is both important. And a lot of us who run imposter syndrome. Hi, my name is Nick. I suffer from imposter syndrome. Also, hat's getting a little warm. They also have the problem of a bit of self-esteem issue, because that's part of the root of imposter syndrome. And this not only builds your self-esteem, but acts as a bulwark against those who would prey on your kindness or your hesitance. There are a lot of people who prosper by preying on the lower self-esteem of others. And boy, are they a crowd I have no problem taking a swipe at. 1 second. Throat was getting a little dry there. All this talk is dry work. Let's see what else we got. Big comment dump, which is good. Oh, and we got Pops Van Zandt thing. When coming to you for voice acting, I was also very clear that it couldn't pay you what your involvement would be in the long run, and what I would be doing on what schedule. Exactly. That's people sometimes poke fun at me because I talk about my business very openly. And I talk about my business very openly. I talk about other people who do business with me because I respect them. And I want the transparency to show this is how it should go. I have the highest respect for Mike Jimmy as an artist, as a creator, and as a gentleman. This is why it's a real privilege to work with him. I'm really going to only take projects from people I respect at this point, even if it costs me money, because that's, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and you got to take care of yourself. And Mike Jimmy, wow, what a great guy. And Life Encore, I talk to him. I talk to Mike Jimmy a lot, and he's on that list of people I don't feel get enough public positive press, because everybody goes, well, yeah, we all like Mike Jimmy, and we do. Why? Because I've had people, why do you talk about some people more than others? Well, you look at what he does. He's always honest. He's always on time. If he can't be on time, he explains why. There's no malice in the man. None. And I absolutely live for that kind of relationship, both in friends and in business, and certainly in family. And we are somewhere in the circle between those three things, the found family of the Nevermorians, where we come together and we take care of each other. And I see Mike Jimmy as a paragon of that set of values, and I really respect the man. So it's a privilege. Plus, like I said, it was great fun. You can do that. You can find things that profit you and have fun. In this case, it's not monetary. I mean, unless like Life Encore gets picked up as some kind of anime series and they reach out, hey, Nick, would you continue to badly butcher your lines for fun and amusement, and possibly pay? At which point I'd be like, hi, I'm a Nick Tockert, voice actor here. Which once that publishes, that goes into my little personal resume too. Little bit of voice acting. That makes me happy. I don't need a lot to do things, but to get a foot in and say I've done it, that's a delight. Hey, yo. Hey, Pops. What's poppin'? You guys don't know it, but you bring my mood up. You know that? The awesome people on here, I come on and it might be a rough day, but I hop on and you guys bring my mood up just about every time. So let's see what else we have coming down the line. Hail, Pops. We're hailing on all frequencies. Call, I'm in the mood. Closing out, Rich is roaring tonight. Oh, Rich Parada is a fascinating individual, and he can be a little, how do I want to put this? In some circles, he can be, I'm looking for that word, because I've been described that way too. Not problematic. Anyway, well, let me put it this way. He's a spicy guy. My lexicon is failing me at the moment, as it often does in the morning. But he's an amazing artist. And Rich is roaring. is an exquisitely visual title. I have not read it, so I can't tell much to the writing, but from a purely artistic standing, and from the idea of it's basically flappers in the 1920s on a quest for vengeance. That's exciting. That's neat, and that's something different. I deal with a lot of comic book guys, far more than I ever expected to. It's neat to see something different than the usual capes and cowls crowd. So I promote that kind of thing because that's the kind of I tend to read things that are a little off the beaten path, comic wise. I do read some superhero comics because some are part of our mythological zeitgeist. It's part of the overwhelming cultural identity of a lot of people, and I'm honored to be tangentially part of that. I'm tangentially part of a lot of things. It's kind of cool. But the wow, I just brain dead. Come on, let's shake it loose. We're gonna take a minute. My brain's not firing. Shake it loose. Come on. Okay, cool. I am honored to be part of the kind of creative community that lets loose these sorts of things, and that we get to see these things promoted, and that it's a different angle. So you see stories like Frog G's Voodoo Gods and More, which is a very different fable-ish adventure story. They're voodoo gods and magic. The even Hybrids and Sons of God, once you get through the arc, because I know what's coming, okay? Once you get through the arcs that Luke's working on, it will be taking an interesting turn where it may be a little less superhero punch 'em up and more there's the elements of conspiracy, there's the elements of mystery that are going to be brought up a little bit more, because just because you cut the head off a snake doesn't mean it necessarily dies. Sometimes it's a hydra. And there's going to be a lot coming out of that universe that I'm eager for. Right now it's a very Trashman focused personal journey, but then it's going to go other places. The stuff I'm working on is again, it's kind of different, and I like that. What I read tends to be different. It's not that I don't like the superhero tropes. I love superhero tropes, but I like other things. And if, for the writers here who are involved in comics, guys, I want to remind you, people go, why are American comics doing so poorly compared to Japanese manga? And the big core problem is that the Japanese, at their root, treat manga as a genre, not a genre, as a medium. It is a medium, okay? It has many genres and subgenres. You have romance represented. You have adventure. You have horror. You have slice of life, lighthearted stuff. You have grim tales from You have a ideologically diverse spread of content and art styles. Then, if you say comics, well, you say anything you say revolving around American sequential art is it goes, you can say it's a graphic novel. Oh, comics. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess you could see it that way, but because that's not okay. But no. So that's Batman and Superman or the X-Men, right? That's Wolverine. That's superheroes, right? comics in America equals, to the vast majority of people, the superhero genre. And as much as I love the superhero genre, and as much as people love the superhero genre, look at the Marvel movies coming out. Look at the animations. Look at the DC movies coming out. People love comic books. They love the superheroes. But if we want to expand as creators, we have to understand that not everything can be superheroes. We need more detective comics. We need more adventure comics. We need more funny, zany, wacky comics. Lighthearted stuff that's kid friendly and adult tolerable. Wow, I'm sorry. I have to be careful. I almost summoned Randy Zimmerman by talking about comics, but that's fascinating. That being able to say, no, I'm not into that. I look at my web comics that I read, and I read a lot of them. They were not traditional superheroes. Lady Saber of the Ineffable Ether, Dr. McNinja, 8-Bit Theater, Bob and George, and then the ones I read online, either like I should or shouldn't, like Strangers in Paradise, Bone. These were a lot of the comics that reached out to me and kind of hit. The original Top Cow lineup, even when they were superhero-ish, they never felt capes and tights, And I think that that's where we need to be willing to look and express as comics. I'd like to see some more American slice of life comics. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see, like I said, detective, adventure stories that aren't just superheroes. Noir, fantasy comics. I would like to see more of that. And if we, as creators, lean into that, eventually it will catch up with the media. Because right now there's oversaturation. Now, if you're doing a good superhero comic or a good superhero story like Skyman and the Master of Steam, by our man Brian K. Morris, by all means support it. But look at the stuff that Bonzer's putting out. Radio Retro Future, a whole universe of insanity. I'm here for that. Frog G stuff. Cindy Koepp's, it's game-lit comics. This is fun stuff. So let the horizons be broadened and the world will be a better place. Sorry, if I got preachy there, let me go through, and we got Atomic Cotton. Oh, okay, sorry. More technical weirdness. Hey, Frog, the Roaring Comics concept. I hear that. Don't always feel like streaming, but the show must go on. Yeah. Overwhelming sometimes. He is my co-host. Trust me, I know. I love that dude. Yeah, he's an amazing dude. Just ordered the coloring books. Wish me luck. And Nick, if you want to do more voice acting, let me know. How to continue the association video someday. Can't compensate you at this point. Well, we can certainly talk. Voice acting and even character work could be arranged, Bonzer. I just need to, like I said, I have a lot of projects that I have dedicated fans waiting for, and I need to get them knocked out because I owe it to them. A lot got put on hold for Luke stuff, and a lot got put on hold for the Simple Sword because I had Simple Spear. I had to prioritize the Simple Spear to get it done. And now I'm trying to pick the next project to prioritize. And once I get that done, I'll go down the line. But yeah, let me know what you're up to, and we will talk, in a someday, certainly in a next year kind of thing, because I'm getting to the point where I'm planning out. I have 2 functional months worth of time. I have, it basically calculates into 1 month because, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 months because you calculate the way the holidays take a chunk out of you, And my Halloween is a huge deal for me, and I'm losing a couple weeks for my 20th anniversary, which I have no shame in admitting because it's worth it. I love my wife, and the fact that we have hit, we will at the beginning of November have hit 20 years of marriage and 22 of being together. That's a big deal. So that deserves that. That's the boundary thing. That's part of why I'm saying January, February of 2023 is going to be my new active pickup projects time, because I want to wrap some stuff up so I have what I have going now in time for stuff. And then the next set need to be ready for April of 2023 when I hit my first big 2-day show that is replacing the convention that I literally built my con and publishing schedule around. It was my big ArcticCon was my big event of the year, and I'm branching out, and it's really cool. But this is the planning. This is the maturing. Let's see what we have. Oh, Glenn Fleming. The machine has already started moving. As a country, England has a funeral, a coronation, and investiture you look forward to over the next few weeks. These events show the irrelevance of comics. Powerful point coming from a person in a powerful emotional place. Queen Elizabeth has been one of the most historically important and certainly long active individuals in certainly in modern history, certainly in Western history. When one looks at the history of the British Empire, she truly reshaped the world and has to endure a great many things. And my heart definitely goes out to the British people and to Great Britain, UK, however you want to parse that. Everyone who's had dealings with that. There aren't words big enough to express how a historic loss can affect someone like that. However, at the same time, I truly believe that all occupations are vital to the people who do them, and none should be derided. And comics and books and literature are expressions of the human condition, and thus deserve an important level of prestige. They deserve being acknowledged both as literature and as popular literature, because the greatest work in the world doesn't matter if no one reads it. And it reshapes lives. So while you are feeling the intensity that you must be feeling right now, and it's, for me as an American, it has been a long time since I have had a leader that I had much attachment to. There's been a lot of saluting the office, not the man, for quite some time. And due to the transitory nature of American politics, real politics, political function, we do not have the same kind of loyalty to the individual as our friends across the pond. So it's hard for us to quantify what you're going through. And I do seriously give you the deepest condolences that I can, understanding that it's an emotional set that I can't personally ever fully grasp. But at the same time, my job is always to build the bottom up. Okay. And someone like Queen Elizabeth was the literal top of the pyramid. She shaped the world with a glance, and did so for decades. My entire life, most people's entire life. So while she's not my ruler, I do consciously, I dare say, theorize. Because anything I'd say, I don't feel comfortable saying, I understand. Because it's culturally very different for me. But I can grasp what it's like to lose someone who's been a fixture in your world. And you had that loyalty to, as best I can. My loyalty right now is always towards helping the folks on the bottom, because the folks on the top can take care of themselves. And one way that helps is putting out either educational, entertaining, or both content. So all I can do to serve the kind of people who do greatness in this world, whatever their political alignment is, be they of a different country or belief or whatever, is to keep trying to do my best. So for you, all I can say is mourn as you have to, because you have to mourn. You have to grieve that. And then proceed with hope to honor the spirit. This was a very powerful, very independent woman whom I actually respect. Even if I don't agree with everything she's done, I respect it highly. I respect it, currently, even though she's deceased, respect carries on. But don't let short-term grief or even long-term grief erode at the things you are drawn to do. You have an amazing talent as an artist. Hatch is an incredible thing. You are a great storyteller. What you did with Jack Kirby's book is phenomenal. What you're doing with the Easter Islands is phenomenal. Channel the emotion into creativity if you can. And if not, take the break you need. We're just talking about boundaries. We'll wait and we'll support you, Glenn, because you're a good guy. Now, a lot of people who don't know diddly squat about your situation are going to say a lot of things, and a lot of them are going to be stupid and hurtful and negative, because unfortunately, there's a lot of that in the world, and there's a lot of that certainly in America. I can only hope that you can both brace for that and then use the well of emotion to create. And maybe after you finish the stories you're working on now, you could do a historical piece, do something as an homage to her. But I do not think that someone who fought so hard, especially against the Nazis, from taking people's rights to express themselves and creativity and stuff away. I think someone who embodies the best of the British spirit of indomitability. And I apologize for my speech impediments. I do not think she would want any, as a ruler who cares about her people so passionately, she would not want any of you to, in grief, lose what you love. Because the ability to defiantly be oddly optimistic in a quiet way is one of the most appealing and inspirational qualities I have seen of British culture. And it doesn't get enough credit, especially in America. How politely defiant of the bad times that is innate. The British do not whine as a rule, usually, that I have seen. That, how's the weather? Could be worse. Stiff upper lip. So I encourage you to grieve, because she deserves it and you require it. But don't let the grief damage you. Grow through it if you can. And if you need somebody to talk to, and I haven't offended you by my ramblings, you know how to get a hold of me. Let's keep going through this commentary. Lots of greetings to Glenn. Blue Teddy Narrations. Hello, Blue Teddy Narrations. Good morning. If you like what we're talking about, or you like how we go from what we do, like, share, subscribe. What? No. You should not have your spanner taken from me. You should have your wrench. That is not acceptable, Glenn. And please, I hope in the lag you haven't left us. I will endanger my stream to fix that literally right now. Because give it a second. Yes. Back online. Yes. See, I'm getting back online. I turned my phone off to save. Oh, here we go. I can only do this through YouTube. You don't have a Flint? Add moderator. There you go. Your wrench is back. If YouTube does something like that, you tell me. There seem to be problems. And yes, I'm going to do everything in my everything I can do to make things better. Hey, Glenn, Donna, we just need more good comics. Yes, right? We need better writers, and we need to curate what we read. If it's not good, acknowledge it's not good and then ignore it. Literally, that the quiet boycott is deliberately undervalued in media because it scares people. You don't like a comic, don't buy it. But don't spend all your time talking about it. It's ironic because bad comics, if enough people ignore them, literally go away. And that leaves more room for good comics. And we've got greetings, fun stuff. Watch out for Hatch, what's up? I can't wait to see that. And I love your animation stuff. Really, it's great. Good morning. Good morning, Richie. How are you doing? How are your projects coming, my man? I know you've been in turbulent stuff, but I'm really excited. You're doing a lot. You're on a lot of shows. Unfortunately, I'm not there for them, but I'm glad to hear it. Hey, greetings, Rich. Hey, Nick. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. It's, if I can be of any help, let me know. If not, I hope I was of help. Empathy, folks. Need to hop later on. You have a good one, Frog. Laters. Hasta la bye-bye, Frog. Projects are stalled while dealing with current circumstances. Oh, that happens, Rich. You have so much up in the air, and I actually, your loss slipped my mind. You have my deepest condolences. And yeah, that's part of setting boundaries. So our boundaries are when someone passes in your life, you have to work through it. And yeah, so we're going to talk about grief a bit, I guess. That's okay. Got a lot of writing this week. Content I never wanted to write. Yeah. It's funny. Because I have been there, and the loss of a loved one, especially someone as close to you as they were. And I'm trying to comfort without necessarily outing your business, because that's your business. But that's a deeply personal thing. And you have to stop and you have to heal. And then you have to go on uh, doing the best you can. And we have to, when we lose people, guys, we have to go through the grieving process. You can't shortcut it. And I'm sorry. But it's necessary. And there are counselors, there are talented folks online, professionals who can help you. If you need help, please reach out to them. If you want amateur help, I'll do what I can. I've been there for a few folks on some dark and stormy days. But then when you come through it, let yourself come through it. A lot of these emotions we don't want to process hit harder because we can't process them until we do. You have to work it. A lot of things are about steps. And normally I try to keep this show very upbeat because that's what people need. Sometimes that's in defiance of my own personal standing, and certainly in defiance of my own personal feelings at times. But that's the service I provide. But you take the time you need to heal from something like that. I will always encourage you to create. It's in my nature. I could no more stop doing that than stop smiling when I see a flannel shirt or someone in a vaguely Elvira-like stuff. So work through it. Time to get dressed, ready to leave for Silcon. See y'all Monday. All right, folks, I probably should drop off so I'm not stomping all over Nita's show as well, because it's about that time. Normally I would run some more commercials, but I think in lieu of the severity of the conversations, I'm going to forego that. And I'm going to ask you, I'm not even going to sign off like I usually do. I've got, for the folks that are hurting, please let yourself heal. For the folks that this is bringing back, because grief calls out to old grief. We've all lost people. And unfortunately, especially in the last few years, there was a lot of it that wasn't able to be tended for safety reasons properly. When you grieve and after back and you're looking fondly on the people who you loved, think about what they'd want for you. Because the vast majority of the people we love, though we don't want to admit it, maybe we can't, want us to be happy. I have been at deathbeds, and I've held the hand of people as they leave. And I guess we're going to get serious here, and that's okay. When I've talked to people nearing the end, they don't regret. I don't know what's being pushed. Okay, there we go. They don't regret the things they bought. They don't regret not buying things. They don't regret not being more professionally equipped. They miss the loved ones, and they regret not being with them. They regret not living the dreams. I mean, to hear somebody who's hours away from death not know it at the time. I never painted. Why did I stop painting? Why did I put down the musical instrument? The death of creativity is as tragic as the death of someone passing, because it's a quiet death you don't recognize. And the lesson to be learned from this is twofold, and it's very simple. Reach out to the people you love. Be there, because they might not be there tomorrow, and you might not be here tomorrow. And if you have a dream, and it's a real dream, you want it, try it. Reach for it, strive for it. If it matters, if it's part of who you are, as creatives, we have to reach out from the depths of our soul and do what we can with the time we have so that we matter, so that we've had an impact of our choosing on this world. Because there is no guarantee of tomorrow. There is no promise of another minute, another second. So we must prioritize. We must set boundaries so that we can continue to function and so that we can be there for the people we love. I am a person who lives in constant fear because I have a special needs son. And I'm doing my best to help him. I have medical issues that will continue to deteriorate me at a faster than natural place. And what we are but vapor. That's true. But let us, if but a dream we be, let us be a dream of beauty and light and hope. If all we are transitory flickers in an endless void of darkness, let our flicker be as bright and daring and defiant in the face of entropy, in the face of darkness, in the face of misery. Let us rise up as the kind of people we need, we want. Because if we do this, we can build a world that's better, knowing that we may not ever see the fruits of our labors. That we can plant a tree that will provide shade for our children, provide nourishment. Let our creations be tools of enlightenment, of improvement, of entertainment. And yes, that has value because the world is a dark and scary place, and we need stories that prepare us for it. And we need stories that teach us to believe not in dragons, but that they can be slain. And as we stand on the precipice, surrounded by grief, surrounded by hurting, surrounded by loss, never fail to try, to strive, to go not gentle into the good night. As that poet says, let us rage against the dying of the light. We must create because we, as Shakespeare said, are the paragon of animals. We are transcendent, intellectual beings. We are authors and artists and sculptors and makers and dreamers and dancers. And even if it's the music of a moment, in that moment something was created. And all time, do not fool yourselves into believing that time is a mere linear flow from one endless abyss to another. It folds in on itself. And the ripples of light of the past radiate to the future and are reflected in the form of hope that we believe that a light out there can drive us forward and build us up and make us better people and make a better world. And never doubt creators, my authors, my friends, my passionate people, in the face of all that stands against us in forms of plague and pestilence and poverty, in death and damnation. We still, as sentient, brilliant beings, have a radiant light within us that we can make manifest somehow. And when you find a means to use the tools you have been handed, it is our obligation, morally, spiritually, personally, to use that to do something, to find what we are the absolute best at and do it without fear or hesitation. We have to find that. And if it is something small, if it's, no, there is nothing lowly. If all you create is a clean house, the meagerest janitor pushing a broom, who's only noticed if he fails to do his job, to the garbage collector, to the line cook, to the people who do paperwork that make our deranged society work one day longer that no one notices, to the artists, wandering with their paints and pixels, and to the writers trying to take the worlds trapped in your craniums and make them manifest to be shared. That is nothing short of magic. And we, friends, powerful people, can do nothing short but craft that, because that is our nature, and anything else, anything less, is a tragedy. So we must keep the fire alive in our hearts. We must tend it. And when it goes low, sometimes to coals, doused by sorrow, doused by grief, doused by misery, physical, emotional, social pain, we have to breathe the breath of hope into those coals to reignite ourselves and each other, so that as, you're all but tiny candles flickering in the dark, but together we are brighter than the sun if we allow ourselves to be. So today, after you end this video, after you go about your day and you have your lunch and whatever necessities, create, craft, put word to paper, put pen to paper, put pencil up, shape and sculpt and fix and make, and live defiantly in the face of entropy, because just because it is inevitable does not mean it should win easily. And in that, we have to create. Because once you've done that, no matter how imperfect it is, you can repair it. You can improve it. You can grow in the making, and you grow in the drafting of it. But at the end of the day, the one thing you can't do is edit a blank page. So I will see you all again very soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck and Godspeed, folks.